crossing of the staffs, which means that anybody that is not an officer or above may come up to the podium. SHALAM, which means to Israel. Amajum, which means stand. Dum, turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakukah, Kaba'ah, Ratazayah, Hayah, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazah, Kawur, Hayah, Shemayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Salak now, Kawawak now, Hasalak now, Kawawak now, Wala'ah, Tabayah now, Wanasai above, Awashai now, Ayun, Rai, Hayah, Lakah, Amalaka, Wa'alu, with the power, Avalumyum, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. For the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babakashah, Gadunanawa, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Hakak, La Tahor, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakim, Amathiam, Hakak, Ar-Rakawah, Tama Garshan, Shim Yahushua, the one Aman, for the power in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power, the power to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. For the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wam Yaka Allah. Wa Ahayim. Matazabiyah. Allah Yahanna. Ha Wapyim. Ha Saranyim. Ha Kwatazayanyim. Ha Kayayim. Wa Kwathim. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Waraman. Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. Command Gen.YAHANNA. The generals. The generals. The captains. The captains. The officers. The officers. The troopers. The troopers. And the sisters. And the sisters. Yahweh. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. Thank you. So big. So big. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ayanya. Ahorim. Ahorim. Ma'ayan. Ma'ayan. Yava'ah. Yava'ah. Isaiah. 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 Ma'ayin. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Yahweh. Aisha. Aisha. Shemiyam. Shemiyam. Baratazah. Baratazah. Al-Yadun. Al-Yadun. Lamawat. Lamawat. Golka. Golka. Al-Yadawam. Al-Yadawam. Shemarka. Shemarka. Hanat. Hanat. La'ah. La'ah. Yadawam. Yadawam. La'ah. La'ah. Yashun. Yashun. Shalomar. Shalomar. Yashalom. Yashalom. Yahweh. Yahweh. Shemarka. Shemarka. Yahweh. Yahweh. Tazor. Tazor. Al. Al. Yad. Yad. Yamyaka. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Yawamam. Hashemash. Hashemash. La'ah. La'ah. Yakaka. Yakaka. Wayirah. Yakaka. Baya'ala. Baya'ala. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yashemarka. Yashemarka. Nicole. Nicole. Rai. Rai. Yashemar. Yashemar. Atnapashta. Atnapashta. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yashemar. Yashemar. Taza'ah. Taza'ah. Wabu'aka. Wabu'aka. Ma'aika. Ma'aika. Wa'ai. Wa'ai. Awalam. Awalam. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes onto the hills. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee. He that keepeth thee. Will not slumber. Will not slumber. Behold. Behold. He that keepeth Israel. He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh. Yahweh is thy keeper. Is thy keeper. Yahweh. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. Is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. Shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. Shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. And thy coming in. From this time forth. From this time forth. And even forevermore. And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayim. Allahayim. All Damayah. All Damayah. Lakah. Lakah. All Thakarash. All Thakarash. All. Kashakwat. Kashakwat. All. Kaya. Kaya. Hanut. Hanut. Awiyabika. Awiyabika. Yahama. Yahama. Yahwan. Yahwan. Ra'ash. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Al-Imaka. Ya'ara Yamwa. Ya'ara Yamwa. Shawada. Shawada. Wiyatha. Shawada. Ya'itazawah. Ya'itazawah. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Amarwa. Lakawa. Lakawa. Wanakidam. Wanakidam. Magalia. Magalia. Wala'ah. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Yazakar. Shan. Shan. Yasha'ala. Yasha'ala. Iwada. Iwada. Kaya. Kaya. Nawa'itazawah. Wa'itazawah. Labat. Labat. Yakadwa. Yakadwa. Al-Yaka. Al-Yaka. Barya. Barya. Yakarafwa. Yakarafwa. Aholia. Aholia. Alawam. Oyashimai. Oyashimai. Alayam. Alayam. Moa'aba. Moa'aba. Bulgaria. Bulgaria. Kabal. Kabal. Wa'aimawan. Wa'aimawan. Wa'aimalak. Wa'aimalak. Halashat. Halashat. Ayn. Ayn. Nishabian. Nishabian. Tazawur. Tazawur. Gam. Gam. Ashawur. Ashawur. Galawat. Galawat. Aimam. Aimam. Hayawat. Hayawat. Zarawat. Zarawat. Labanya. Labanya. Lawat. Lawat. Selah. Selah. Aisha. Aisha. Laham. Laham. Amayan. Amayan. Kasayasara. Akasayasara. Kayabi. Kayabi. Bolka'o. Bolka'o. Kayashawan. Kayashawan. Nashamadwa. Nashamadwa. La'ayin da'ara. La'ayin da'ara. Hayawat. Hayawat. The month. The month. La'adama. La'adama. Shaidamwa. Shaidamwa. Nara. Nara. Yamawa. Yamawa. Ka'ira. Ka'ira. Wakaza'aba. Wakaza'aba. Wakazabak. Wakazabak. Wakazazor. Wakazazor. Menad. Menad. Call. Call. Nasayakamwa. Nasayakamwa. Ashar. Ashar. Amaru. Amaru. Nasaki. No, you're a shop.
No, you're a shop.
And now.
And now.
No, wa.
Yahweh.
Alahayam.
Alayom.
Alahaya.
Alayom.
Shayakamo.
Shaikoa.
The go.
The go.
The quash.
The quash.
The panya.
Kapaya.
Woka.
Oka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Kaba Ira.
Iro.
Ya Ira.
Iro.
Wagalahaba.
Ogalahamu.
Galahat.
Ogalaha.
Paryo.
Hayo.
God.
Ka.
Dardatma.
Gagamu.
Wasairika.
Oshaisku.
Wabasa.
Wabash.
Wapa.
Wapaku.
Dabahalam.
Dawalum.
Mala'a.
Kulaha.
Panyaham.
Panyahan.
Walawan.
Walawan.
Wayabakashwa.
Wabukashmu.
Shukah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashmu.
Wayaba'alwa.
Wabubao.
Ayi.
Ayu.
Ai. Wayakaparwa.
Wabupawa.
Wayabadwa.
Wabupawa.
Wayadaiwa.
Wagayu.
Kaya.
Kayo.
Ata.
Wadot.
Shukah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labaka.
Wabaku.
Al Yawan.
Ayu won.
Al.
Al.
Call.
Call.
Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O my power.
Keep not thy silence, O my power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O my power.
And be not still, O my power.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
and lift up their heads.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against our hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
In the name of Israel,
may be no more in remembrance.
and we no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together in one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelite,
and the Ishmaelite,
of Moab,
the Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Nagarim,
the Baal,
the Wall,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyrese,
A sword also is joined with them.
and so also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hoping the children of Lot.
Say Lot,
Say Lot,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sarah,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kisan,
at the brook of Kisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They came as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make a noble like a red,
and like Zeeb.
and as Eve.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all the princes,
as
as Zeba,
and as Almunah,
and as Amunah,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
O my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make it like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stone before the wind,
as the fire burned the wood,
as the fire burning wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So to persecute them with our tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with our storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh,
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
right now,
to evils and curses,
to evils and curses,
punishment and destruction,
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathens,
that speak against us thy prophets,
and speak against us thy prophet,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school,
and the schools,
and evils and curses,
the evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen,
to the heathens,
and shake loose the treasure
and the Satan lose the treasure
of the rich of
of
Israel.
the rich of Israel,
That refuse to give to the school. school.
That refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force our riches to enter into our sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
The nation.
And the nation.
And their drug
And
dealers.
the drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments are enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
And that synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinhead.
Skinhead.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
The cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channels.
And the radio channels.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
That seek to stop us.
that seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction to all the heathen.
And bring swift destruction to all the heathens
That stand in the way.
that stand in the way.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
Throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth. That means all the plagues.
Cause them to go
To the earth and consume them.
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
Michael, and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers.
come down with the flying saucer
And punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us.
and come up against us
As we speak thy word.
as we speak thy words.
Cause it to be known
Cause to be known
by all.
by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That is the angel that had done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be spread
through the media,
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake it back coming.
In the name of
And
Yahushua.
then Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always.
Always.
So be.
So be it.
So. Turn. You shall be it. Please be seated. We're going to be in the book of Judges, chapter 18, verse 13 in the Blue Letter Bible. Okay. Judges chapter 18, verse 13 in Hebrew. What by borrower, SHALAM, are a party. Ba'alu, Baya, Mayaka, verse 14. Yainawu, Kamasha, Ha'anathim, Saki. Ha'anashyum, Saki. Hahalakyum. Larogal, Aratza, Layasha, Wayamaru, all. Akiyahum, Saki, Akiyahum. Hayadaikum, Kaya, Yash, Babakim, Hala, Apawad, Akarapium, Wakasol, Wamasaka, Waita, Taiwo, Mak, Taishawu, verse 15. What Yasser Rawu, Shema, Wayabawu, All, Bayah, Hanaira, Halawaya, Bayah, Mayaka, Wayasha, sorry, Wayashalawu, Lawu, Lashalawum, verse 16. Bashash, Ma'awat, Ayash, Agagorium, Holia, Malak, Mathon, Natazagium, Bathak, Hashaira, Ashar, Babanya, Dan, verse 17. Waya'awa, Hamashat, Ha'anashim, Ha'alakium, Laragol, Ad, Ha'arathaza, Ba'awa, Shema, Lakukawa, Ad, Hapasol, Wa'ad, Hapawad, Wa'ad, Hakarapium, Wa'ad, Hamasaka, Wahakahan, Natazad, Thak, Hasha'ara, Washash, Ma'awat, Hayash, Hakagarma, Holyat, Hamalakma, verse 18, Wa'ala, Ba'awa, Bayath, Mayaka, Weyakukawa, Saul, Ha'apawan, Wa'a, Hakarapyum, Wa'a, Hamasaka, Weamar, Hakahan, Ma, Atham, Ashiyam, verse 19, Weamarlo, Lawa, Hakarash, Shayam, Yadak, Al, Bayak, Walak, Aminawa, Wahaya, Wanawa, La'ab, Walakahan, Harawab, Hayawadak, Kahan, Baliyat, Ayash, Akkad, Awu, Hayawadak, Kahan, Lashabat, Lamashapat, Yasha'ala. I clap it up. The book of Judges, chapter 18, verse 13 in the English. And they passed thence unto Mount Ephraim, and came unto the house of Micah. Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, Do you know that there is in these houses an ephod and teraphim and a graven image? Now therefore consider what ye have. Verse 15. They turned thitherward and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him. 16. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. 17. And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither, and took the graven image, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war. 18. And these went into Micah's house, and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, What do ye? 19. And they said unto him, Hold thy peace, lay thy hand upon thy mouth, and go with us, and be to us a father and a priest. Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that thou be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel. Verse 20. And the priest's heart was glad. So they turned and departed, and put the little ones and the cattle in the carriage before them. 22. And when they were a good way from the house that were in their houses, near to Micah's house, were gathered together, and overtook the children of Dan. 23. And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their 24. And he said, Ye have taken away my gods which I made, and the priests, and ye are gone away. And what have I more? And what is this that ye say unto me? What aileth thee? And the children of Dan said unto him, Let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou lose thy life of thy household. 26. And the children of Dan went away, and when Micah saw that they were before him, he turned and went back unto his house. 27. And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came unto Laish, unto a people that were at quiet and secure. 28. And there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business any man. And it was in the valley that lieth by Beth-rahab. And they built a city, and dwelt therein. 29. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan their father, who was born unto Israel. Howbeit the name of the city was Laish at the first. Verse 30. And the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, captivity of the land. 31. And they set them up Micah's graven image, which he made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh. That the house of God was in Shiloh. Judges 19. And it came to took to him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. Verse 2. In the slide, for the Israelites out there, a concubine doesn't mean that this brother took him a wife of another nation. You understand? Like back then, we was at war with one another, which of course you'll see not only in this chapter, but all throughout the scriptures of how it is that the children of Israel used to go to war with one another. Until, King David came along and unified all the tribes into being one kingdom. You understand? One nation of people, not just, tribes worrying about their own things. Verse 2. And his concubine played the whore against him, and went away from him unto her father's house, to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. Verse 3. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him, and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. Verse 4. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodge there. Verse 5. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way. Verse 6. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, Be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry. Verse 7. And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again. Verse 8. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. And the damsel's father said, Comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until afternoon. They did eat both of them. Verse 9. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward evening. I pray you tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home. And you know, like what this sister's, you know, father was doing, like that's just the brotherhood it is that we have as a nation. Like, he was just trying to kick with his brother, you know, wanted to make sure he was comfortable, make sure he had everything it is that he needed before. That's what we do. We take care of brothers. We take care of sisters. We have it. We're not going to tell you to, you know, that's your own problem. You know, you got to worry about yourself because, you know, you're a sinner. We won't sit there and tell you that and send you off to starve to death somewhere in an alleyway or cause for you to go out and rob some other brother and sister so that you can feed your family. Like, we will take care of you. We will give you all the necessities it is that you need. All you have to do is just come here and say, just let us know what it is that you need. Which, of course, the Christian church cannot say that they would do that. Like, the Christian church, when COVID happened, they shut their doors. When there's a natural disaster that is ripping through a state, the church will shut their doors and not allow for anyone in their congregation to come and seek help, to come and get any kind. That's why you tell our people that they got to take themselves when they come to you for food. That's why it is that you can't even protect them when they're in work classes, or you can't even give them like a solid brother to take them home after class. Because he'll end up raping and murdering them in the woods somewhere. Right. Like you do not embody the spirit of these scriptures right here. Like you might read it, you might be able to give a little breakdown, but you don't understand the spirit behind what is being read. Only the men in the I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA understand the spirit of these scriptures. Right. And we've been the only ones. And we will continue to be the only ones because we are the only ones that the Lord is with. Right. Behold, Mary, go home. Verse 10. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed. He came over by Jebus. The day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn in unto the city of the Jebusites, and lodge in it. Verse 12. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger. It is not of the children of Israel who will pass over. Verse 13. And he said unto his servant, Come, and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or in Ramah. Verse 14. And they passed on and went their way. And the son of down upon them when they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. Verse 15. And they turned aside thither to go in and to lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat him down in the street of the city, for there was no man that took them into his house to lodging. Verse 16. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also on Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah, but the men of the place were Benjamites. 17. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city, taking brothers and sisters, to make sure that they anything it is that they need. Like, and that's the spirit it is that we have on us in America before everything was desegregated. You understand? Like before Martin Luther King fought to be able to sleep with heathen women. Like, we used to have to travel, through the land and stay at someone's house on our journey. We have to find someone that's willing to take us in and allow for us to lodge with them until, for the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is that we are as a nation. Like we're supposed to look out for our own. Supposed to make sure that they have everything it is that they need. You need to lay their head, I got you. You need food and water, I got you. You need clothes, I got you. Like, those bastards, we don't operate like you. I can't say we want something out and let someone stay with us because we don't let anybody stay with us. Even if we've known them since our childhood, and they was the closest person to us for our entire lives, we would still not let them stay with us because we want to be comfortable. You know, we don't want to have a little comfortability when it comes to being when you're supposed to look out for that brother or sister.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to try to take advantage of them because they're sleeping on your couch.
Right.
The hell, you know they're in a bad spot, so why are you trying to put them in a worse spot by trying to squeeze funds out of them, or just being unbrotherly,
right,
or unsisterly to them.
That's right.
Now as they were making 22, sorry. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the set and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. And of course, Benjamin had a real bad LGBTQ problem at this time. Had a real bad, purple pig problem at this time. Indulging in homosexuality. And of course, because that spirit, that demon is so violent, like a group of men came up to this brother's house and demanded that he, bring that stranger outside so that they can know him. And when it says know him, that means to have sex. Like, it's not to talk to him, see where he's from, see if he needs anything, learn about his past. That's so that they can lay with him. Verse 23. And of course, those brothers, they try to force themselves upon others because that's what happened to them when they was younger. Like, they went through some form of assault that forced them down this destructive lifestyle. And of course, there have been studies that have been done on that to let us know that is. Like, what is it, like, ridiculously high percentage of those that live that lifestyle, they went through some kind of sexual trauma that made them go down that path. And it's no different from back then. Like, it's not chemicals that's being put in the water. It's nothing that's being injected into the frog. It's It's not because of what's in the music or what's on TV. It's from experiences that these people have gone through. Verse 23. And the man, the master of the house, nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man is come into my house. Do not this folly. And his brother, he's begging these Gomorrites for safety. Don't try to threaten or convince me to throw him out so that you can abuse him as you were abused. Which, of course, so many Christians out there, they ended up, they threw that person, like they threw someone to the wolves, saying in the church. Like if there's a pastor or a deacon or just someone in the congregation that wanted to touch a child or to assault a woman, like they would just be thrown to them. And when they try to speak up about it, you're told to shut your mouth. You're told not to speak of them that way because they're so holy. You understand? Like they are without blemish, and you can't add a blemish to them. Like, which is utter nonsense. And it's the same thing that goes on in these fake Israelite groups. Like some of these cats, they promote that you can marry 9-year-old girls. And in our culture, marriage is sex. When one gives their body to another. Like that's what marriage is. And they promote that. There are some of you out there that say that you can forcefully take sex from your wife. You understand? Like that is rape. And then when she comes to you about it, and then you pull a scripture that you have no understanding of to justify your disgusting acts. Like that's who, those of you outside of the I.S.U.P.K, that's who you follow. And that's who your so-called leaders have broken off from, is these different groups who have been disloyal, right? Who have never been solid enough to stay with those that have taught them. You understand? Many of you broke off from the house of David, which broke off from the I.S.U.P.K. Right. And then break-offs just started happening from there. You understand? Those of you that went and created IUIC, GMS, what is it, ICG, JC, something like that, HOI, Sakari, like you have all broken off from House of David, and so on and so forth. Like you broken off from groups that came from House of David. Like it's just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of confusion. Verse 24, behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vile a thing. 25, but the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine, and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her, and abused her all the night until the morning. And just like I said, like that spirit that is on brothers and sisters to live an alternative lifestyle, like it is violent. Like that's why whenever you hear them breaking up or getting into an argument, that's why it always turns violent. You understand? Like why it is that it most of the time resorts in one of them being unalived by the other because of the violence that they're going to, commit against one another. Because once again, the problem that they went through, like it was violent. You understand? Like it destroyed their spirit, destroyed their soul. So if their spirit is destroyed, then
what use do they have to being, kind or being, gentle when it wasn't done unto them. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. 26. Then came the woman and fell. 27. It's like it. And her Lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. 28. And he ordered her up, and let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon an ass, and the man rose up and got him unto his place. 29. And when he was come into his house, he took a knife, and it's like it, before I keep reading, like these men, they abused this sister so badly, you understand, abusing her all night, doing all kinds of heinous things to her. Like they abused her so badly that she ended up dying from, the injuries that they caused to her. Like that's the spirit that is on the LGBTQ community today. Like if any of them are allowed to have the opportunity, like they will abuse some poor brother or sister until death. Like they will abuse someone's child until they decide they're going to unalive themselves because they can't handle the abuse, the trauma it is that they are going through. The trauma that they have to live with for the rest of their lives. Like not many can live with that. Like that's something that utterly destroys your spirit, destroys your mind. And that's what these brothers and sisters in this community, that's what they're going through now. They've already gone through the trauma. They've embraced that life, but the trauma they've gone through, it is plaguing them till this day. And in order for them to try to fight it, they have to go and have an abominable, lifestyle with someone of the same sex. They have to go to put someone through that same trauma they went through in order for them to, feel good, in order for them to try to normalize what happened to them in their minds. They have to go put someone else through it. When, that disgusting, it's like that lifestyle, it's like I said, it's an abomination, you understand, which is what the scriptures say. He took a knife and laid hold on his concubine and divided her, together with her bones, into 12 pieces, and sent her into all the coasts of Israel. Verse 30. And it was so that all that saw came up out of the land of Egypt unto the day. Consider of it, take advice, and speak your minds. And so his brother took his unalive concubine, he took a knife, and he divided up her body into parts, and he sent it into the lands of Israel, to the tribes, different tribes. And next Saturday we'll see why it is that he did this. It's like it. So with that, just my podium, our margin. SHALAM, which means to Israel. So imagine, which means to stand. Wufani Akidam, means to turn to face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawu. Shabbat Shemayim. Kadash. Hayah. Shimka. Yahweh. Balakaka. Batazayah. Hayah. Asher. Baratazah. Kawur. Hayah. Bashamayim. Latan. Lakam. Yawam. Wasalak now. Kabawak now. Hasalak now. Kabawak now. Wala'a. Talayai now. Bonasai one. Abal. Hawashai now. Mayun. Right. Hayah. Lakab. Malakwa. Wala'al. Watapar. Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. That will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Bokashah. Adonanahu. Hakak. La Rafa'ah. Call Makalah. Call Marawat. Hakak. La Tahor. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. La Hakim. Hamathim. Hakak. Al-Rakawat. Atama Gorshan. Hashem Yahushua. Walaman. For the power in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Yaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazakia. Alawak Yahanna. Ha Alawakyam. Azaranyam. Ha Kotazayanyam. Ha Kayayam. Wa Kwapian. Yahweh. Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Waraman. Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohanna. The generals. The captain. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'at. Ayanya. Al-Harim. Mayan. Taba'at. Azariah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Ashah. Shaviyam. Baratazah. Alithan. Lamawat. Rogoka. Al-Yarawam. Shamarka. La'ah.
Shun.
I.S.U.P.K.
Shalom.
Shalom.
SHALAM.
SHALAM.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazorka.
Tazorka.
Al.
Al.
Yad.
Yeah.
Yumyaka.
Yomika.
Yawamam.
Yomam.
Ashamash.
Ashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayerak.
Yarowak.
Walyala.
Wala'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Bakol.
Bakol.
Right.
Right.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapashka.
Ashka Pashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Azafka.
Ashka Ashka.
Wabuaka.
Wawawaka.
Ma'ita.
Maita.
Wa'ai.
Right.
Awalam.
I don't know.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer our foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Israel
that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber or sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon the right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out,
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in
from this time forth,
from this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All the Mayah.
Adam Yup.
Akah.
Hakak.
All Hakarash.
All Dakarash.
All.
All
Ashakwat.
Ashquash.
All.
All
Kaya.
Kayuk.
Ana.
The Nut.
Awayabyaka.
Yabika.
Yahanna.
Yaham.
Yawan.
Yawam.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Ayamaka.
All Amaka.
Ya'ariyamma.
All Yamu.
Sawada.
Shawada.
Wayatha.
Hulata.
Yeah. It's like it. Yaitazawa.
Atazawa.
Altas of Awarnika.
Atazabawanika.
Amarwa.
Amaru.
Akawa.
Akawa.
Nakidam.
Wenakidam.
Mogolia.
Magalia.
Wala'a.
Ura.
Yazakar.
Ashikar.
Shan.
Shan.
Yasha'ala.
Ujala.
Aywada.
Yawada.
Kaya.
Kayuk.
Noah Aitazawa.
There's Isawa.
Labak.
Ba.
Yakadwa.
Ikawa.
Al Yaka.
All Yaku.
Baryak.
Bayak.
Yakarathwa.
Yakawafu.
Aholia.
Yahoya.
Arawam.
Alawam.
Yashmai.
Washimai.
Alayam.
Alayum.
Moa'abla.
Mobaabu.
Wagaria.
Magalia.
Ball.
Kabal.
Imerwan.
Aywan.
Imerlak.
Alala.
Al-Shah.
Al-Shah.
Ayin.
Ay.
Yashabi.
Nishabi.
Kazawar.
Kazawur.
Gam.
Gam.
Ashawar.
Azawur.
Nalawat.
Alawat.
Imam.
Yavon.
Aywat. Selah.
Shingat.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Ramah. Yasara.
Kajashawat.
Kayabian.
Kayami.
Barakaal.
Borgao.
Kayashawan.
Ashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamaru.
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
And I am the owl.
Ayawa.
Aywa.
The Mun.
Shamut. The mud.
La Dama.
Shandaw.
Shayat Thumwa.
Shai.
Nara.
Nara.
Yab Mawa.
Ya Mau.
Ka'ira.
Ka'ira.
Wakaza'aba.
Bokusha Awa.
Wakazaba. Wakatazal.
Bokutazor.
Manai.
Yanar.
Call.
Call.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Nasha Yakawa.
Ashar.
Shor.
Amarwa.
Yawaw.
Nayurashah.
Bokusha.
The Nawa.
Yanaw.
Nawat.
Now.
Alahayam.
Alayum.
Alahayam.
Alayum.
Shayat Thumwa.
Aygangwa.
Kagogola.
Kago.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Napaya.
Rowoka.
Bobuka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Kaba.
Iru.
Ya'ira.
Ya'iru.
Wakalahaba.
Bokaau.
Alahat.
Alaat.
Harayam, Khan, Ardapma, Wasa'irika, Wabasa, Wapaka, Sabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahan, Palawan, Wayabakashwa, Shimka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayabawa, Ai, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Ata, Shimka, Yahawah, Labaka, all you're one. All right, Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence on my power. Hold not thy peace. And be not still on my power. Or lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off in the nation.
That the name of Israel
may be
no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelite. The Moab. And the Hagarim. The Baal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeid. Yea. All their princes. As Zeba. And as Almunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Hold my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. Persecute them with our tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High, over all the earth. So I heard the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh. Listen to us now, right now, some evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathen, that speak against us thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the schools, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure, of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary, some evils and curses, and punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomite.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments are enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
And that synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Comitazi. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction to all the heathen. That stand in the way. Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
Throughout the planet Earth.
That
lose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And consume. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathens. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known. By all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread. Through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. Always. So be it. Sorry. We're going to be taking the scrolls to be saluted.
Yahweh Yahshua.
This concludes I.S.U.K. Sabbath service. Yeshabian, which means to be seated. Salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh. Salute to the sisters watching online. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Does anybody want to be anointed at this time? No. All right, pop that up.